All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. What's going on? If you're new here, I'm Matt with Halloween Daily News, and this is our weekly live broadcast where we geek out on all things Michael Myers and the Halloween movie franchise with the greatest fans of the greatest franchise in horror. So happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody, and to all my returning friends, welcome back, guys. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I gotta say, this is not just a triple M night. This is a quadruple M. This is monumental Michael Myers Monday, right, everybody? We got a new Halloween Kills trailer to dive into tonight. And that's what we're going to do in just a minute. Right off the bat, though, everybody, let's extend a very warm welcome to Miss Salem Collins, who is here in the live chat with us at the moment. She's very cool to join us tonight and very excited to join us. If you don't know, Salem is a cast member in Halloween Kills. She plays a new character named Christy, and you're going to be learning a lot more about Salem and her role in Halloween Kills in the very near future here on HDN. But she's going to be awesome enough to hang out in the live chat with you guys. As always, I only ask that you all be respectful to each other, to the franchise, and, nobody being a jerk, and no spoilers, of course. If I see any of that, then, But that's not a problem on this channel because we have the best viewers of any YouTube channel. So, how are you guys doing tonight, first off the bat, before we jump into this kick-ass trailer? How's everybody doing? Happy Michael Myers Monday, y'all. Let's see. I see lots of familiar names. Patrick, Phil in here. There's Protect Safes in the house. Larry Moore, Ken. Thanks for being here, guys. Darlene is back. Salem, thank you again for being here. This is awesome to have you. Let's see who else is in here tonight. Ryan Korn. I'm going to do it right now, man. Are you ready? Yes, we are ready for HK. We are, 3 weeks out now? I mean, this is insane, guys. And like I said, this is a monumental Michael Myers Monday because they dropped the trailer today. They did it on Monday, right? That's no accident. So, Universal, hey, I see you. I see you, Universal. I hear you loud and clear. I think you hear me, too. I think we're all on the same page. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. What do you think of this trailer? What do you think? This is an awesome trailer, if you ask me. I am so pumped. I got to admit, many of you know, I just got back into town. We were up in Hampton, Virginia this weekend for the Haunted Screams Expo. And I didn't even see the announcement last night that the trailer was going to drop today. Full disclosure, I was so wiped out after the convention. We were still in the hotel room. Yeah, I wasn't seeing much of anything, much less social media. I was seeing the back of my eyelids pretty early last night. I was completely wiped out. And then I woke up this morning to, we had to get checked out of the hotel. And lo and behold, here comes the trailer. Now, we knew it was coming. This is the trailer that was released a few weeks back, about a month ago in Vegas. It wasn't released, but it was first shown at CinemaCon in Vegas. You remember? And there were some descriptions of it that surfaced at the time. We talked about some of those. But, none of those really match what we saw, the magnitude of what I'm seeing in this trailer. And again, there's some stuff that you would call spoilery in this trailer. So if you don't want to know anything about this movie, if you haven't watched the trailer yet, I love that you're here, but I'm going to politely ask that you probably want to turn off because we are going to discuss the trailer. Now, no spoilers, but we are going to discuss what's in the trailer, and that includes obvious speculation and what might lead to what and what might be going on. No spoilers here. I haven't seen the movie. I've read no scripts, But yeah, if you don't want to see the trailer or hear anything about it, then this is not the night to join Michael Myers Monday because we are definitely going to be talking all about it tonight. And there is a lot of good new footage in there, a lot of mind-blowing footage, a lot of stuff that gave me chills, both in the music And some of the quick shots that we got in there, guys. I mean, yeah. I mean, you might say it's revealing too much. It is not dampening my excitement one bit. What they are revealing, if anything, it has just got me more hyped than ever. As you can see, I am so excited. I am still wiped out from Haunted Screams, but I was already going to do the live tonight. I knew we were going to do the live tonight, no matter what. And then when they dropped that trailer today, yeah, I knew right away that I couldn't wait to get home and go over this with you guys, unpack all of this. There's a lot to unpack in here. So this is going to be fun. And we're going to do it very similar to how we did the first trailer and how we did Bad Candy a few weeks ago. It's not exactly frame by frame, but kind of scene by scene. And we're just going to talk about some things. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts and ideas. This is not stuff that I know. This is just stuff that I think and I feel, my opinion, in other words, my reaction, if you will, and just kind of break it down. And we're going to talk really about kind of what some of this means, at least from where I'm sitting, and I want to get y'all's point of view. But as far as the mythology and the franchise, I mean, what I love most about this trailer is obviously we get so much more of the legacy characters here than we did in that first trailer. There's Lori and Allison and Karen, obviously, but we get a lot of the legacy characters in this, and a lot of cool stuff teased. And oh boy, can we say flashback? Can we say that out loud now? I mean, I've been sketchy about even saying the word, but I mean, this is the official marketing. Like I said, I'm not dealing in spoilers here, but we are talking about the official marketing, and yeah, this trailer gave us our first official look at what looks to be a flashback to 1978 and some very familiar faces that we're going to see circa 78. And of course, the returning characters, many played by the returning actors like Kyle Richards. Oh my God, this trailer is just packed. And if you watched Friday's episode of the Halloween show, I actually said, who knows? Maybe I said at the end of that episode, because the trailer was rated last week, since our last Monday gathering here. It was rated in Canada, and I didn't do a separate video on that. I didn't do an article on that because it kind of came to light right as we were leaving town for Haunted Screams. But I did include a little blurb about it on Friday's episode of the Halloween show, just that the HK trailer was rated in Canada, which was kind of what preceded the first trailer being released. And I said I expect it to be released any day now. Who knows? Maybe they'll release it on Michael Myers Monday, and sure enough, that's exactly what they did. So again, Universal, hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you guys, too, Universal. So obviously there's a lot to unpack in this trailer. So we're going to get into it. There is a format that I've established on these Mondays where, we kind of do certain features, but tonight we're kind of going to ignore all that. And honestly, there's other news in the franchise that I plan to talk about tonight. And there's some other new in stocks and show and tells that I was going to do. And there's lots of stuff that I have to tell you guys and share with you guys from Haunted Screams Expo, hanging out with Tyler Main and Scout Taylor Compton. But look, all that has been put on the back burner tonight because it's Monday. It's Michael Myers Monday. It's 3 weeks out from Halloween Kills. Am I even right on that? I think it's about 3 weeks. It's pretty damn close. And we just got the final trailer for our most anticipated movie event of the year. I think it's safe to say it's certainly my most anticipated. And I think it's pretty safe to say if you guys are here watching this with me right now, it's probably your most anticipated movie of the year too. It's definitely mine. So yeah, we need to cherish this. And just one more thing before I get into it, and I say it all the time, you guys that are here every week, it's a broken record, but see, I'm almost getting emotional saying it, but there has never been a time in history to be a Michael Myers fan than right now, to be a fan of the Halloween movie franchise. I mean, just think about this, guys. The world's on fire. I mean, crazy stuff's happening all over the world. COVID isn't going anywhere. There's, all kinds. But we here in Haddonfield, at least, we are having a magical time right now that is made for us, the fans. Um, and it's not just the movies. I mean, that's like the cherry on top of everything. But I mean, when I was a kid or even a young adult, you couldn't find a decent Michael Myers mask anywhere for Halloween. Now you've got your choice. Which version from which movie do you want? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's just so much out there, so much great artwork, so much great merchandise, and the fandom is bigger than ever. Certainly more opinionated than ever, more passionate than ever, but it always has been. I'd say this has always been the most passionate fan base in horror. So again, thanks for being here tonight, guys, and I look forward to going over this with you. And like I said, the way we'll do it, I'll pull up the trailer. We'll just kind of go. I'll be pausing as we go. We might go back a little bit and look at a few frames here and there. And we're just going to kind of dissect it a little bit. Not so much not so much to go into spoiler territory, but we're going to conjecture. We're going to speculate, as we do here on Monday nights, about what this may mean for the people of Haddonfield, for the future of Michael Myers, and for this film going forward. All I know is it looks insane, and it looks like it's definitely going to deliver on its title. So, if you guys are ready, let's get into this. I'm going to pull it up. Actually, the first thing I'm going to pull up, before we even jump into the trailer itself, I just wanted to pull up this image. Jamie Lee Curtis shared this today, and then it kind of circulated everywhere, but it's a brand new look at Michael, or at least the mask. You can't even see that it's connected to him in this, but look at that close-up of this gorgeous mask. I mean, that is our best look yet at the new mask, and the details are just outstanding. And honestly, looking at it right here, I do see a lot of the details that are on the Trick or Treat mask. Of course, they're a little more pronounced on the Trick or Treat mask, but I do see some yellowish tint in some of that damage. I do see the spot on the left side of the forehead, and of course that big gash coming down his left temple, the mouth damage coming off the left side of the mouth. It is all there. So, that Trick or Treat Studios mask, I know a lot of people love it. I love it. But, paint jobs vary, and some of them are definitely better than others. But that sculpt, you can see here that they nailed that sculpt. And I will, on another Monday, maybe next week, pull up one of our in-stock HKs and compare it directly with this photo, because this is the best look we've ever gotten of this mask so far. And we'll compare that like maybe next week, and you'll see what I'm saying. It's really well represented there. All right, so what we're going to do now, like I said, we are going to pull up the trailer, the final trailer. And yeah, there's so much to unpack on here, guys. I mean, the legacy characters have always been one of the things I was most excited about. Of course, in 2018, when they announced JLC is back to play Laurie Strode, mind-blowing. Never saw that coming in a million years. Never would have said that 5 years ago. And so now in this film, that they brought Kyle Richards back to play Lindsay Wallace. They brought Nancy Stevens back to play Nurse Marion Chambers. Lee Brackett. They brought Charles Cyphers back to play Lee Brackett. And of course, we have our new Tommy Doyle, played by Anthony Michael Hall, and our new Lonnie Elam, played by Robert Longstreet. So we're going to go over to the trailer now. And we're going to start going over this. And I might come back on screen a little bit as we're doing this, but I'm going to mostly be here, and we're going to go through this. And get into it right now. Let me put on my earpiece here. And again, this is tonight's show. So again, apologies if you don't want to watch the trailer. A few people have tweeted and commented on IG that they're not going to watch it. They're trying to avoid all promotions. I get it. I totally respect that. And that's why I'm saying warning, because there are things that you're going to consider spoilery in the trailer. But we're going to talk about this. This is official marketing. And we're going to talk about it as it pertains to the trailer and really as it pertains to my personal excitement about what this means and the significance of some of these scenes. And I mean, there's just so many Easter eggs, so many things that reference the original film that we're going to talk about. So let's get into this. Let's pull this over here. And all right, so right off the bat, we got the jack-o'-lantern. Ken, I'm reading your comments about rise to my feet, wipe the spite from my face, wipe these tears from my eyes. I will be nice. Logan is in here. Hey man, what's up? Logan is my new buddy. We met just over the weekend at Haunted Screams Expo. Thanks for checking in, Logan. Salem is ready to go. Larry Morse has always wondered about the aftermath of 78. Always wondered if Lonnie was going to encounter Michael as well. I think we're going to find out about that. Larry says, saw you at the convention. That was nice. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, it was great talking to all you guys. And, let me just say that real quick. Any of you watching that I did talk to over the weekend, thank you. Thank you all. We met so many awesome people. And it was it's always so great going to these conventions and meeting like-minded, cool, and awesome people. But so many of you guys came up and were like, hey, I watch you on YouTube, or I follow you on IG, or I subscribe to your site, or whatever it is. And whatever it is, if you're watching this now from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. Thank you so much. It was a magical weekend. We had a blast. And you guys were a huge part of that, coming up and really kind of just validating a lot of what we do here. So you guys that are here and that I just talked to over the weekend, thanks for being here, guys. And while we're here, let's just stop and toast Mr. Chad Francis, another regular viewer right here who just dropped a $5 super chat. And I'll just throw that out there real quick. There is the super chat. I'm going to try to get to as many of your questions and comments as I can, but I'm going to miss some, and apologies ahead. If you really want to get our attention, and that's, you're welcome to super chat, or if you just want to make a donation, that definitely helps keep the lights on around here and keep us doing what we're doing here at HDN. Much appreciated. So a toast to you, Chad. Happy Michael Myers Monday. And now we're going to get in to the trailer breakdown. Let's do this, guys. All right. So right off the bat here, first image, before we even see anything, is jack-o'-lantern, which, couldn't be more fitting. It was the first image we saw in the opening of the film, the opening credits, of course. And this really looks like that opening credits jack-o'-lantern in some ways. It's not exact, but the way it's kind of, starting to sag a bit. I'm talking about the 2018 opening credits, where it was the rotted pumpkin that kind of rebirthed itself to actually ultimately be that, an homage to that 78 opening credits pumpkin. But again, there's no better way to open a Halloween franchise trailer, Chad says, you're the man, Matt. Love HDN. Thank you. You're the man, Chad. Thank you for that super chat, brother. COTN is here, says, best day of the week. Well, thank you. Thank you. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Let's see. Honda Jabroni Comics. You can learn a lot from the comic books. You talking about the Halloween comic books? I love those comic books. And yeah, if they worked some of that mythology into this, I would not be upset at all. Art says, hello, great trailer. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. John Burns says, love this. Thanks for being here. Sorry, I'm just catching up on a couple of your comments real quick. Darlene survived Monday. You made it. And once again, everybody, we've got Salem here in the live chat. So happy to have her. All right. So this is the first second. And again, I see somebody kind of lurking over on the right side of the frame. It appears, maybe I'm just seeing things, but it kind of looks like a shadow over there. All right. So I got vibes of the opening credits of 78. I mean, of 2018, which is an homage to 78. But that's what I got right from this. And again, right here, right off the bat, it looks like the Silver Shamrock masks. And I've talked about this numerous times about my excitement. And again, we're only 3 seconds in to the trailer, but you know, we get the jack-o'-lantern, we get the streets of Haddonfield covered in leaves, Halloween decorations everywhere, and trick-or-treaters running to the next house. And not just any trick-or-treaters. There's 3 trick-or-treaters, and you guys tell me if I'm seeing things, but I clearly see, well, we know the middle kid is wearing the pumpkin mask, the Silver Shamrock pumpkin mask from Halloween 3. It appears like the kid on the right is wearing the skull mask, and can't really see her, but I'm guessing the little girl on the left is wearing the witch mask. So we've got the 3 Silver Shamrock masks back in this movie. We saw them in the 78. It was a fun Easter egg, and I love that now they are using these masks even more prominently in this sequel, fully bringing Silver Shamrock, the Silver Shamrock brand, into the current mythology of Halloween. And that to me, I mean, I can't overstate how awesome that is for a longtime fan. As somebody who champions Halloween 3, you guys hear me champion Halloween 3 all the time. I love Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It's one of my all-time favorite sequels in this franchise. And I love how that movie used Halloween 78 as, in their universe, that's a movie that people are watching on TV. I thought that was brilliant. It was meta before meta was even a thing. And here we go again with the producers, with Christopher Nelson, with whose ever idea it was to bring them back in 2018. I love that they said, let's do more with specifically characters in those 3 masks. And we know from the previous trailer and from later in this trailer that we're going to see more of these masks. So right off the bat, 3 seconds in, packed with Halloween atmosphere. You got a jack-o'-lantern, you got the Halloween decorations, you got the trick-or-treaters, and of course they're wearing Silver Shamrock masks. And I've said this before, I'll call it a prediction, even though, you know, I'll call it a prediction, that way I get the credit if it happens, okay? But what I would love to see and what I hope to see in this movie or in Halloween Ends, I've said it before here, but I want to hear the Silver Shamrock jingle. It can be a new version for all I care. It can be a totally like 2021. It could be a K-pop version. It could be whatever. But let's put Silver Shamrock on TV. Let's have that commercial playing in a bar somewhere. Is it going to happen in this film? I don't know, but I would definitely welcome it, and I definitely hope it does. All right, let's get back. And here we go. Now off the busy streets, we've got these kids here. They are on a dark, empty playground. Squeaky swing set. And now, I believe, and she can correct me if she wants, or not if she wants. You under no pressure to say anything here, Salem. But I believe that the little girl in this scene is Salem Collins, who's here in the live chat with us. But she'll tell us if this is her role or not. We know she plays Christy, but we don't know anything about Christy or who she is or how she may or may not be related to anyone else in the story. And it's hard to tell if these kids are definitely the trick-or-treaters, but if you look on the ground, and again, I'm not going to zoom in here, but I see some orange. I see what might be some green. Maybe that's two of the silver shamrock masks there on the ground next to them. And Salem confirms that we're correct, that is her and on the swing set. Awesome. So again, Salem, you play a very important role right off the bat in the opening seconds of this trailer. And right off the bat, just knowing what we know as fans, that this is a Halloween sequel, this is a Michael Myers movie, I think all of us are immediately uneasy when we see this scene, knowing, that Michael is out there, seeing the previous trailer. Um, Kids alone after dark on Halloween night, and Michael Myers is on the loose. All right, so let's go on. This next part is one of my favorite parts. I mean, it's all part of my favorite parts. Who am I kidding? And that was, of course, the great Kyle Richards, who we've talked about before. I think it's so awesome that Kyle is back playing Lindsay Wallace. And, many people, many modern audiences know Kyle Richards, of course, from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But movie fans and horror fans, of course, know her as Lindsay Wallace from 78. But, what people might forget, especially now, is that she did, that was not her only acting role. Like, Kyle was a pretty busy child actor when she was younger, and she was in a lot of movies. She worked with Donald Pleasance later in what's that Disney movie, Escape from Witch Mountain, I think, or Escape to Witch Mountain, whatever it is. And she did another horror movie that was kind of a precursor to Christine in a way. It was called The Car, and she and her sister, her sister, of course, was in Assault on Precinct 13. So Kyle has some acting chops that maybe she hasn't tapped into as much in recent years. But she's got some legit acting chops from when she was a child. And again, not to, spend too much time here, but I mean, this is a breakdown. And again, I want to bring my own unique perspective into this as much as possible. I told you guys I interviewed Kyle back in 2013, and I asked her then if the producers ever came to her and wanted her to be in another Halloween movie, would she do it? And she told me back then that she would love to. And she went so far as to say that she always had the Halloween theme on her phone during Halloween season, and that, and that she would love to come back and thought it would be great to get all of the surviving characters back and see what they're up to now. And again, as fate would have it, here we are. She and many of those surviving characters, pretty much all of the principal surviving characters from that original film, are back in this movie. All right, I'm just going to catch up on a couple of comments real quick. Sammy Gomez has checked in. Thanks for being here, man. That's right, everybody. Welcome, Salem. It's so awesome that she's here. And she's got some dialogue here coming up. Now, again, I know you guys can't hear the audio on this, but I assume by now you've all watched this at least 300 to 500 times by now. Actually, I've only watched it about 3 or 4 times myself, and that was this morning, again, while we were still at the hotel. And but I've been thinking about it all day on the way home. Jake Blaster has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. David Suber, what's up, brother? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Yeah, it is badass. It is badass. It is a great trailer. All right, we're 6 seconds in. We got a ways to go. Let's go. And she asked what the kids are doing out here. And now you can see that is the Silver Shamrock masks on the ground there, guys. So that means our friend Salem here is one of those trick-or-treaters we saw in the previous scene. That's awesome. And the first kid says it's Halloween, and they've been out trick-or-treating. And there's Salem there, I believe. I can't get a great still here on here, but we'll. And she says there's a creepy man in a white mask trying to play hide and seek or something. So immediately, we are 11 seconds into this trailer, and at this point, I'm a parent. If you're a parent or just anybody that knows these movies, I mean, you are just on edge. And but myself as being myself and such a fan of this franchise as a whole, what I'm really doing watching this for the first time is I'm just so geeking out at everything packed in this scene. We've got Lindsay Wallace, 40 years later, played again by Kyle Richards. Just that alone, from the fact that they thought to bring her back, is something that consideration that so many of these other franchises and movies don't do. And then the fact that she did come back and they made it work. And just what little bit we see of her acting here, I think it's great. She seems really freaked out and urgent. And when Salem tells her that there's a creepy man in a white mask trying to play hide and seek, yeah, Lindsay knows right away what's going on, and you can tell right away. And again, I mean, I love that packed into the scene and all this happening at once, we've got those silver shamrock masks. I just can't say how happy I am that Silver Shamrock is a part of this franchise again. I think it's awesome. And again, you guys tell me. I mean, I don't see Michael in this shot anywhere, but knowing how this is, he's probably in the background in the darkness somewhere right now in this shot. Fazbear Fright says Salem is lucky. Imagine being with the shape on the big screen. Yeah. Salem says everyone on set was so nice, and I'm so lucky to be a part of a great team like Halloween Kills. Awesome. Well, we know a few members of that team, and they are definitely great. We know James Hugh Courtney and Christopher Nelson and those guys. And again, I don't know Kyle personally, but we had an amazing conversation in 2013, and she's a huge star now. She was a huge star then, huge, and she didn't have to talk to a little site like us. And we were a real little site then. We were, that was the year after we launched, so we were not what we are today. And even today, we're pretty little compared to a lot of the big boys. So the fact that she took time to do that back in 2013 is awesome. And I know she's great. And everybody I know involved in this team is awesome. There's a great shot of Kyle right there. Lindsay Wallace grown up. And we talked last week about Jamie Lee Curtis saying that reuniting with Kyle and Nancy Stevens on set in real life, she called that the most meaningful part and the best part of filming Halloween Kills to her. That's what Jamie Lee Curtis said. That's a cool shot right there. You can see both the kids really well right there. You can see Lindsay's urgency whipping her head around right there. And again, I don't know. You guys tell me. You see Michael in the back anywhere? I don't see him from where I'm looking, but he's probably back there somewhere. I guess she's about to see him. And then we get the big reveal here. And there he is. Michael Myers. Look at the red on that knife. Now, just having it paused here. Now, again, this is the first time I've kind of gone through and paused at scenes like this. Like I said, I watched it like 3 or 4 times this morning, and then I had to turn off the computer and get packed and get out of town. So just doing these little freeze frames here, yeah, it's amazing what jumps out. I mean, you can clearly see the damaged mask. It looks great. That's James all day long there. That's his stance. Um, but the bright red on that knife, all over that knife. And what is he holding there? It's kind of hard to tell here, but I think they let us know in a scene coming up what he was holding. Because if you remember, there was three Silver Shamrock masks, and we saw 2 a minute ago. But that is an awesome shot of the shape. Just kind of classic Michael, and you can see that there are people in the car right there. So they're clearly about to get freaked out. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's a movie poster in itself, isn't it, guys? I mean, that is like, yeah. Throw in just a little bit of jack-o'-lanterns in there, and it's a perfect poster. That's Michael in a nutshell, right? That's HK in a nutshell. Look at all that blood. Salem says that was absolutely terrifying. Oh, I bet. I bet. Maybe you want to tell us, Salem, was that the very first time that you laid eyes on Michael Myers on set? Was when they shot that scene? Or had you kind of seen James in costume before then? I love this shot, though. It's a classic slasher shot, but it's just, the cinematography, it's lit well. Michael's hand is very dark, but you can still see it clear. The knife, it's bloody. The blood shows up. I mean, you can see that it's off the well lit path. It's kind of into the darkness of the woods where you don't want kids to be on Halloween night when Michael Myers is out. And there's Lindsay getting her first look at Michael in 40 years. And this is just an epic moment for the franchise. This is an epic moment for the mythology. This is yet another survivor of that classic 78 night. And they survived. And it's all these years later. And we know what it did to Laurie in this continuity. Because we learned that in 2018. We know what she did and what she had to do to cope with her trauma and to deal with the lingering effects of that night. And obviously now we're going to get some great insight into some of these other characters that we know and love from that film and how it affected them and how they dealt with it and how they went on through life. And I love that Lindsay plays so prominently in this trailer. I just think it's great. And again, props to Kyle Richards. A lot of people, I don't think of her. When they think of her today, they don't necessarily think of her as an actress. It's more as a reality TV star. But like I said, she's clearly got some acting chops and has some legit talent in this field, and I just don't think she's used those talents like this in a while. So I think, I love that she's taking it seriously, I guess is what I'm saying. I love that it appears that she's taking it very seriously and really putting in a powerful and frightened performance. Because who wouldn't be? I mean, you imagine this is the monster that's haunted her since she was a little girl. And Salem says yes. Actually, that was the first time that she laid eyes on Michael, was that scene. So yeah, that would be absolutely terrifying. And at age 12, no less. Yeah, absolutely terrifying. I think all of us fans of Michael who love Michael would never want to see Michael show up like that. Yeah, I always say that Michael is the coolest of all fictional serial killers, but yeah, I would not want to run into him and see him on a dark night like that, or anytime really. I love the cosplayers at the conventions though; they rock, and all the guys that have played him rock. They're all amazing. And again, did any of you guys pick up on that? I kind of felt like that was a callback to '78 right there, with Lindsay telling Salem and her friend in the film, run, go now. You know, that to me is very much a callback to Laurie Strode telling Tommy and Lindsay the same thing. And I just think again, it's kind of like how the new trilogy of Star Wars movies and the prequel trilogy of Star Wars movies, they had so many scenes that kind of referenced and almost repeated in a way scenes from the original trilogy, but they would build on it and kind of layer it and rhyme it in some ways. And I think this is one of those rhyming scenes where it's Lindsay now being more the protector of the children, where she was once one of those children and does not want to have these kids have to experience that. Salem says Kyle was extremely nice on set, so grateful to have met her. Yeah, she was super cool when we interviewed her, and seems really awesome in real life. Now, how about this, guys? Let's go back for just a second. Now, that, of course, the great Nancy Stevens, right there. We see that she's one of the people in this car. Okay. Um, and I'm only just noticing now. It looks like she's already holding a gun, a pistol. Now, Nancy Stevens, again, the fact that they got her back. If you had asked me 5 years ago, would Nancy Stevens ever be in another Halloween movie? I'd say no way. But if you ask me now if anybody who's ever been in a Halloween movie is ever going to be in another one, I'm going to say, hey, never say never, because that's going to be my answer forever. After this, what they've done now, and I love it, honestly. I love that you're never going to be able to predict where they're going to go next in this franchise. Nancy Stevens is an icon in this franchise. Nurse Marion in the original film is so pivotal. She's there in that opening scene with Loomis. She gets the whole story of Michael, and Loomis gets to deliver some of his creepiest lines that really set the stage for the whole movie and the whole franchise, even right there in that scene, and she's there for it. Then they bring her back into H2, of course, directed by her husband, Rick Rosenthal. And in that film, she has the most pivotal role of the big reveal, revealing that Michael and Laurie are sisters in that version of the story. And then when they brought Jamie Lee Curtis back for Halloween H2O in '98, who else did they bring back but Nurse Marion again? So again, this is her fourth film playing this character in this franchise, and just can't say enough about the importance of that to the franchise and how awesome that is. And then we go back here, and you might not recognize this couple, or you might remember them because they did both appear briefly in Halloween 2018. Um, I believe their characters' names are Vanessa and Marcus, if I remember right, but that is the nurse, the woman dressed up as a nurse, that's Carmela McNeil, and that's Michael Smallwood, who's playing Marcus. And they were a couple you saw briefly in 2018, right before Michael went on his big killing rampage, kind of house to house, in the long unbroken shot. He looks at them for a minute. It's almost like he considers going to their house, but they're running late for what I thought was a Halloween party, and he has to run back in and grab the keys or something, and then they're gone. And a lot of people have speculated that are they Julian's parents, but I do remember, unless something changed in the editing, which is possible, but last year when David Gordon Green participated in a live Twitter watch along, that he basically debunked that no, they're not Julian's parents. All right, Salem has got to go. Thank you for joining us for a while, Salem. We really loved having you here. And yeah, look forward to talking to you again soon. Everybody, thank Salem for joining us on the live stream tonight. And we can't wait to learn more about Christy and to see more of you in Halloween Kills. Everybody, give it up for Salem. Happy Michael Myers Monday. See, you never know who's going to join the live stream at any time. All right, let's move on a little bit. There's Nancy Stevens, and there's Michael recreating his jump. You remember when Nancy Stevens, Nurse Marion, first saw Michael, it was Nick Castle, unmasked, by the way, and he leaps onto the car, and then he's on the hood, and then he smashes the window and attacks her. She gets away, she makes it, and he gets away with the car, who everybody wonders how he learned how to drive. But here's a great shot. Look at the mask in those red brake lights, the reflection in the rearview mirror. And then it's like, what? Did Michael just jump like he did 40 years ago? Yes, he did. That is a great shot, isn't it? That is a wicked cool shot. And again, guys, I know she's gone, but yeah, isn't that awesome that Salem joined us? I mean, that was so awesome. Salem, thank you. Thank you. If you rewatched the end of this, thank you again for being here. Yeah, we're all going to look forward to learning much more about Salem herself and about the character of Christy as we get closer to this movie. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons, COTN says. That's right. Dave says, love the way Michael floats up the back of the SUV. Yeah, he does kind of float. Yeah, he really does. That's a good way to put it. Ah, Larry has a good point. Kind of like in '81 when Dick Warlock popped up under the emergency sign in red. Yes, and you saw him in the side, um, the driver's side rear view mirror. Yes, it is very much like that. Good call. Definitely kind of a callback to that. And somebody else pointed out on social media a few days ago, I saw that there was a cool shot of Lori, in her. Actually, I talked about it last Monday. It was one of the shout outs we did of another shout out to that scene where it's a reflection of Lori driving her truck and it's a reflection through her rearview mirror right as she hears that there's a disturbance and she knows it's Michael and she turns around and heads back. Sammy says this trailer has me so pumped, can't wait. You and me too, man. Chad says it's an H2 Deluxe rehauled. Here he goes. that leap. And yeah, look at the look of fear. Like, it's like Marion just realized, oh shit. This is happening. And he's back. It's that psycho. And yeah, I think Vanessa and Marcus are just have no idea what's happening and are just yeah, wondering what the hell is going on. But yeah, I agree with you, Dave. That is awesome when he jumps up there. Let's look at it one more time. And then, of course, he's on the roof now. Door's locked. Because they probably locked him because the boogeyman was on the loose. Didn't want him to get in. And now I think we just got a big clue of what was in his hand. That looks like it might be that third Silver Shamrock mask. And my God, is that a lot of blood on that thing. Damn. It's brutal. But he doesn't stop there. There we go. Now this we saw, got a taste of earlier. But look at that. Yeah, we saw a bit of them filming this actually in the rap video. Not the rap music video, but when the film wrapped filming back in 2019, way back then on Halloween of 2019, they released that behind the scenes video, and we saw a bit of this scene being filmed. If you remember in the original, you could actually see the wrench on Nick Castle's hand when he smashes it in there. And again, the fact that it's Nurse Marion, it's just a great callback. I mean, you could argue something like that would never happen in the exact same ways. I mean, but this is epic storytelling. This is a great callback. If you ask me, this is just a brilliant callback. Now, we still have no idea how Marion and Vanessa and Marcus all end up in the car together. It appears like Kyle or Lindsay, was probably there with them. And here, Michael gets a hold of Marion. And it doesn't look like it's going too well. Oh, that was a great shot of Michael turning around right there. Let's go back to that for a sec. Look at that. Oh, I love that quick turn right there when he turns his attention back to her. Brett says, "Where's the wrench?" Right? Yeah, she's thinking, not again. That's right. Byron's back. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. All right, let's go a little bit further. There's Marion. We got a little piece of this in that footage with the Peacock announcement. I'm wondering if that's Loomis's old pistol, or if they're at least insinuating, kind of suggesting that. Great Nancy Stevens. You're going to get an awesome performance from her. I mean, she's been great in every one of these movies she was in. I thought she was awesome in H2O. I loved her in that opening. And there he is. Another killer shot of the mask. Michael just looking wicked right there. Look at that. Staring her down. And you can ask yourself, I mean, in his psychosis, in his brain, does he have a memory of her? How much memory does he actually remember of Lori? Or does he remember very clearly? I mean, I always kind of took it that Michael's brain development pretty much stopped at age 6 when he killed Judith. I always kind of took it that, whatever was Michael ended that night, and he became the Shape at that point, and he was what Loomis described, this kid with the blackest eyes and the blankest stare, and that's the way I always have taken the mythology, is that his development really just stopped. He's still that 6-year-old. And that's why he still is a bit of a trickster. He's a bit of a kid playing Halloween tricks, trick or treat. The treat for him is the kill, but sometimes he's going to trick you and then maybe kill you. But, there's plenty of things he does in that original movie in 2018 and in many of the sequels that is playing with the victim as much as just murdering them. Stalker is the right term, because that's what he does. He stalks them, and he enjoys the stalk, I think, as much as the kill, probably, at least up to now. In Halloween Kills, I don't know, the kills might take over from the stalking. We'll see. Now, I love here we get the classic, not the main theme, but the classic The Shape Stalks theme. Speaking of stalking, and it's just that classic dun 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 dun, and yeah, my adrenaline just starts pumping at this point. Lori says we killed Michael, but we know. And there's Allison talking to the police, I imagine, explaining that her grandmother set the fire. And here's a little bit more from inside that fire with these poor, brave firefighters, man. Some of the bravest dudes on the planet. And, man, that fire is about the least thing they have to worry about on this day. There's Sheriff Barker, played by Omar Dorsey. He, again, reprising his role from 2018. I love that David Gordon Green brought back as many characters from 2018 as he could, played by the same actors, and incorporating them even more in this story. I love that. Dave says he remembered Lori. That's when he made the head tilt when he grabbed her in the mannequin room. So that's the moment when he remembered her. Probably. And now it's on. The chase is back on. And this is a great horrendous moment. Look at that axe coming down. One more time. The terrified eyes of the firefighter, and bam. Holy shit, guys. Holy shit is all I gotta say. Oh my god. Well, it's not all I gotta say. I'm gonna say some more, but and you gotta imagine this is probably like the first 4 or 5 minutes of the movie. Ah, that's brutal. Michael's no stranger to fire, though, in the previous films. I mean, H2 and Resurrection, he got real cozy with the fire then, too. So, it's not exactly new for him. He's been here before. Great shot of Laurie right here, looking all badass and ready. About to hear what? What? You mean that he's back? He's not done. It's not because they put out the fire. It's not because they didn't let it burn. And then we get the line from Barker, Michael Myers is alive. And here he comes. With all his swagger. Right there. Does that shape not mean business? Again, it's just like the ultimate taunting challenge. Like, I just walked out of your trap, out of your burning house, and killed the guy that was trying to rescue me. Bring it on. I mean, that's what I get from that image. Look at that shot. That's just awesome. He is like scoping him out like, all right, here we go. Like a damn medieval swordsman about to just start beheading people. Taking on an army. Like Jon Snow taking on an army of White Walkers. Great shot right there. Great silhouette. And yeah, Brutal keeps coming up. It's come up in a lot of today's tweets and posts from the cast and crew. It's come up in a lot of interviews that they've done. It's come up in our reactions to the first trailer, and it's come up in those reactions and reviews that came out of the world premiere. That this is a new level of brutality that we haven't seen in a slasher, at least probably I would say in a mainstream big studio slasher like this, in a long time or maybe ever. I mean, I would love if Michael would set a new precedent and truly claim the throne. I mean, to me, he's always had it and always will, and I think to most of you guys. But I'd love for this to be the undisputed moment where Michael Myers is the king of the monsters. Byron thinks Michael in HK will top Jason as far as his brutality and his kill count, I imagine. Yeah, I think he probably will. Chad says he's the ultimate killing machine. Hell yeah. Dave says he's a shark. Hey, what was his name? Freddy? Busta Rhymes from Resurrection. He was Freddy. I forget his name. Yeah, he was right. He said Michael Myers was a shark. You know, Freddy wasn't wrong about everything. He was right about that for sure. Michael Myers is a shark. Chad says David Gordon Green said something about Michael is like a great white. Yeah. Yeah. And Busta Rhymes, as Freddy said it first at Resurrection. But yeah, I mean, it's true. He is like a shark, a killing machine, something that just lives to kill, and that's all it does. That's a great shot. And a little more of the what do you call it? It's not chainsaws, bone saw is what I was calling it. I guess they use it to cut people out of their vehicles to rescue them. It's not how Michael uses it, though. This Halloween. And here we get the main theme pumping right on time, about halfway through the trailer. Now, I love this. As Laurie's saying, 40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We get these flashback moments to the actual 78 film. And I absolutely love this. And I had speculated before that I think, we're probably going to see more of this. We saw the scene in 2018 where it flashbacked to Judith's kill. And when I interviewed Sandy Johnson, she talked about how they came to her to get her permission to use that footage and to get her to sign off on that. We also heard earlier this year, Tony Moran said publicly that the same thing, that they approached him uh, for Halloween Kills, not to be in it, but to use his likeness, to do something. And so we knew from that, yeah, we're going to see a quick flash of his unmasking at some point, which makes total sense. And then just recently, when I interviewed PJ Souls at Scares That Care, she told me, and she had previously told Mad Monster Party earlier this year, that there's something to look for about her in the new film. And I speculated then that, yeah, it's probably a subtle callback, that she's not actually in the film, but they're going to show a bit of Linda's death. And I think they're probably going to show a bit of all of the deaths from 78 in quick little flashes, in memories that maybe Laurie is having some flashbacks at certain times. And what I didn't expect is that we were going to get that here in this trailer. And so we get this great moment of Laurie narrating, and just, again, for general audiences that don't know what's going on, this is also for them. But for us fans, it's another little kind of geek out moment, because we literally get to see the characters then and now, and it's almost bittersweet, because it's reminding us of all their innocence and the film's greatness of the original film, and just, how far all of this has come, the franchise, all of this, ourselves in our own life. It puts it all into perspective. And she's saying, 40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us, and then she says, we are the survivors of Michael Myers. And that was a bit of Nick right there. Which, again, technically Nick, we could call that his cameo in this film almost. There he is. There's Kyle Richards again as Lindsay, and then I love that it shows her as little Lindsay. And again, just to catch everybody up and remind you who's who, just in case you might have forgotten or you've been under a rock for the last 2 years. Again, reminding you specifically of the reference. That's Marion in the car, and that's just a second before Nick's hand comes down with the wrench and smashes the window. Just great to see the then and now, 40 years later. Wow, Ken says that's a Husqvarna K970 16-inch 94cc gas power cutter. I'll take your word for it, man. Choppy, yeah. K&L Collectibles is here. Thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Survivors of Michael Myers. Now here, this is Robert Longstreet, and he is, of course, taking over the role of Lonnie Elam. And this young man, we need to learn his name. I'm forgetting the cast member's name who plays young Lonnie Elam. I'm blanking on that right now. Maybe you guys can help me out. But yeah, we have 2 new actors playing the role of Lonnie Elam, because of course this scene that we see over here on the right, well, that never actually happened in the 78 film. So this is new footage of young Lonnie, which again is kind of our first confirmation that we're going back to 78, and not just in a flashback to previously filmed footage from that original film, but back to 78 with new footage recreating that night. But I love that they feature that. That Lonnie gets a good shout out here. And of course, Lonnie is the father of Allison's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. I don't know how they left it in Halloween 2018, but her boyfriend Cameron, that's his dad. And they let us know that in the 2018 film. That's not a spoiler. They state that. And it's interesting that here's Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy, and he's saying, Laurie, what do we do? And I'm pretty sure Tommy asks Laurie that same question at a certain point in 78. So he's there, it looks like, in the hospital with Karen. And she says, we fight. I did find it interesting that when they're showing those legacy characters, they did not show Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy next to his young Tommy as Brian Andrews. I don't know why. And also, thus far anyway, haven't seen any sign of Sheriff Brackett. But from everything we know, we do know that he's back, played by once again played by Charles Cyphers, and we know this from the Total Film cover story. It was pretty much confirmed when a set leaked from the set, but David Gordon Green himself confirmed it in his interview with Total Film. Chad says, wasn't it Mickey Yablans? No, Mickey didn't play Lonnie. His character was actually Richie. He was one of the bullies there with Lonnie when they were bullying Tommy, but yeah, he played Richie. Because Richie's the one that actually runs in to Michael, and then he lets him go, and then it's later that Lonnie is dared to go up to the boogeyman's house, and of course he gets the piss scared out of him by Loomis, which is hilarious because Loomis is, even he is kind of a Halloween trickster too. All right, so Laurie says we fight. And that's kind of a clue of how the fighting is going to go. I got a feeling because they're going to fight and Michael's going to kill. We fight, Michael says, I kill. I slice throats. But again, the amount of gore that we're getting, and this is a trailer, I mean, I assume it's going to be, well, it's not a red band trailer, I don't think. I mean, they didn't release it as a red band trailer. It seems like it would be, though, with this amount of blood that we've already seen in this trailer. I mean, look at all that blood. And of course, we got a hint of this scene in a previous teaser prior to the official trailer release. And here it's kind of interesting. We got Karen saying, Mom, our family will kill him. Allison saying, we're going to hunt him down. We're going to put an end to this. It's kind of interesting seeing the Strode women all come together and get behind this hunt. Karen and Allison, of course, in the beginning of 2018, were very, very much of the attitude that Laurie needs to just get over this Michael Myers stuff. And it's been 40 years, get over it. Which you could understand in real life. People would get like that, even though in real life, you have to admit that you can't get over something like that. And they would have to understand that. They wouldn't understand it because they hadn't gone through it. And if you haven't gone through it, you can't understand it in real life. But, so it makes sense. But now that they have gone through it, and now that they do have their own experience with it, it's very interesting that they're all very much of the attitude of we're going to hunt him down and take him out. And it's the Strode women, and we see, these other survivors all coming together. The people of Haddonfield. Gun getting loaded here. There's a quick shot of Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. Look at that. That is a great shot right there. There you can see clear the Haddonfield Memorial logo there. Lots of extras in the scene. Shot in Wilmington, North Carolina. And this is the moment in the trailer. We heard it a couple times in the previous trailer, but you could hear the crowd, the mob, if you will, chanting, "Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight." And here they come, led by Tommy Doyle. I think this is such a cool moment that it's Tommy Doyle kind of leading the vigilante mob justice. Of course, Tommy and Loomis were the only characters in the original film that kind of believed in the boogeyman, except for Lindsay. I love her line in that original where she says, "I believe you, Tommy." She did believe Tommy, and Tommy definitely believed, and Loomis definitely believed, and of course, by the end, at the end, Lori herself also believes. But this is just a great shot, and again, just the red light highlighting the anger, the mentality of these characters, that he did this to us 40 years ago. He ripped our lives and our families apart. He ripped our community apart. He made us all feel unsafe on Halloween, probably forever. And they're not really over it. And so, yeah, they're going to take matters into their own hands. And they've all probably had a few drinks. It's Halloween night. It's getting late. Now look at that. Again, super bloody knife, but who's picking it up this time? Love that mob. That is a great shot of her picking up that knife. Yeah, that looks like Karen picking up that super bloody. I mean, that's got chunks on it. But is that Karen? Is that her Christmas sweater? I kind of think it is. What do you guys think? Brett says there's Brackett. I did think I caught a glimpse of him there. Look at that. You are right. There he is. Sheriff Barker there on the right. Of course, Karen on the left. And spotted right there. Center frame. That's him. That is Mr. Charles Cyphers, who, of course, played Sheriff Lee Brackett in Halloween 78 and reprised the role briefly, albeit, for Halloween 2. Great actor, very kind man. Had the pleasure of meeting him back in 2015. I'll show you a picture one day. Byron says Karen picked up the knife. I believe she did. Ah, COTN says it looks like the 78 knife too. Nice callback there. That is a great shot. And our first look that I've seen anyway. I mean, I don't think we saw him in any previous footage. If so, I missed it. But yeah, that is our first look at Charles Cyphers. Once again as Lee Brackett. 40 years later. Now, I gotta imagine whatever he's doing in life right now, when he hears that the guy that murdered his daughter is back out on the loose on Halloween night, whether he's retired or not, I gotta imagine that he is all up in the new Sheriff Barker's business on this Halloween night. Whether Sheriff Barker wants him there or not, I got a feeling that, Cyphers You know, because if you remember Halloween 2, he was just so broken he just had to leave and go tell his wife, and we didn't really see him again. But it's been 40 years. I think he's had a lot of time to think about what he would do if he had the chance. Can't wait to see more of his character in this film for sure. Karen picking up that super bloody knife. There we go. That is her Christmas sweater. Still on from 2018. Still later the same night, of course. And just a brutal scene. We saw a bit of this in the previous trailer and in the previous footage that I did a live breakdown of last week, or week before last, excuse me. But and again, I think we got a pretty good idea of who the characters are here. We caught a glimpse of them earlier, but how and why they get into this predicament and the masks end up on them. There's that skull mask, that silver shamrock skull, and we know that's the silver shamrock jack-o'-lantern because I love the actual detail of the silver shamrock logo button, also known as the power chip, right there. I mean, what if when it hits midnight or whatever, well, I guess it wouldn't be midnight, it'd be 10 p.m. But, you know, that the masks, if this victim's mask, if these victims' masks were activated, and even though they're dead, you know, if the bugs and everything would start crawling out, that'd be pretty cool. And I also love the detail. I said this before when we saw a bit of this before, but all the candy spread out all over. I mean, really makes me worried and scared for Salem and Salem's character, I should say, and her friend, and already really worried about their other friend, the third kid that was wearing the skull mask, because didn't see him on the swings. So yeah, I'm worried about Salem and them, but they did have the masks off when Lindsay told them to run, so who knows. But this is just carnage right here. This is just carnage. But as a franchise fanatic that I am, the coolest part is the silver shamrock mask. I know I keep talking about that, but I just think it's awesome. And that's Tommy discovering them, it looks like. And there we see another victim. I'm not going to speculate tonight on who it is. I think we all have a pretty good idea, though. But there's the witch mask. And it looks like Lonnie is discovering that victim. Now, again, all of these kills were, if not fully revealed, at least hinted at or kind of teased in the previous trailer. So it's not even like we didn't see some of this coming. We're just seeing a little more of it now. But I do go back to Christopher Nelson saying that don't worry, you know, not what has been spoiled is not even like 10% of what you're going to see. So David wonders if we hear the infamous song. You mean the Silver Shamrock song? Yeah, I sure hope so. I am hoping so. I'm going to go as far as to predict so, but I'm predicting it mainly because I hope so. But yeah, I mean, they're working with Universal. Universal's got to own the rights to that. Between Universal and Carpenter, they got to own the rights to that. So, I mean, why not just work it in there? And again, I would be fine if it was like a modern take on it, or like a cheesier take on it, or whatever. Any almost unrecognizable. Just have it in there, like the way they had the song that Lori sings. You know, I wish I had you all alone. You know, they actually made that into a song and used it in the 2018 film. I thought that was brilliant. And it's Lonnie that says, we saw this in the previous trailer too, but he says if you trace Michael's path of victims, basically he's cutting a path back to his childhood home. And we could zoom in on that map and really get some more details, which I'm sure are pretty interesting as far as the street names and so forth. But I'm not going to stay on that tonight, but that is definitely worth looking at. But yeah, that's Lonnie. I think talking to Allison here, saying that it cuts a path straight to his childhood home. And speaking of which, then we get this first official shot. Now, we knew there was 78 scenes filmed. We knew this for a fact because of casting calls and certain things that had gone online. Um, Things can always be edited out of the final version of the film, though. But again, it looks like, no, we're definitely going back to 78. But what we never knew for sure was, would we go to the Myers house, be it 78 or today? Would we be going back to the Myers house? A lot of people have speculated we would. And I think we all have been pretty sure for a while now that yes, we're going back there. But we never saw it until now. This is the recreated Myers house. This is the Myers house 40 years later. And right as Lonnie explains, Michael is working his way back there. Why? Again, if you ask me, this is just me, my own personal belief, but I've always felt that Michael's brain stopped developing once he killed Judith. At that moment, his brain became the shape and Michael was no more. And so the shape is still there at that house, still 6 years old, still, you know, killing Judith, and in some ways. So I think it's like go back to there because that's all he knows. That's the only home that he really knows. I mean, they call that original film The Night He Came Home. That's the tagline we've all seen on every t-shirt and every poster for 43 years now. The Night He Came Home. So the fact that Michael's working his way quite literally back home in this movie, I think that's kind of perfect. What do you guys think? I think that's kind of perfect. He's working his way back home. This is the night he came home again. I do appreciate the decorations that the current residents put out. You know, they're in the spirit, which I imagine might be a little difficult living in that particular house, given its history on Halloween. But I love that the current residents are decorating. So then the next scene we get here, I mean, that's just an epic reveal right there. And that's what I mean. There's so much to unpack in here. So much. Uh, so much legacy stuff. So much stuff that is just, as a fan of this franchise as a whole, you know. And again, I'm sorry if you guys don't like Star Wars, but I always liken the Halloween franchise to the Star Wars franchise because I think it's just as big to us and to horror fans and to the genre of horror as Star Wars is to the genre of adventure films, fantasy adventure films. I think it's just as big in the horror genre. And so as a fan of Star Wars, you know, those key moments, like, you know, Chewie, we're home, when we saw that in that trailer, or the first time you saw the Millennium Falcon flying in that first teaser for The Force Awakens. I mean, my God, if that didn't bring like tears to your eyes, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know. And to me, moments like this hit me very much the same way when I see this in this trailer. Yeah, it's spoilery, okay, but it's also spoilery about something that we all kind of knew, or at least were hoping, and it's spoilery in a way that makes me emotionally more excited to see this movie. Uh, so yeah, I have no problem with them giving us this shot. And then it cuts into here. And we see some quick glimpses. And the husband says someone's in our house. Now, I don't know for sure that these are the new residents of the Myers house. It's certainly edited to appear that way. There's nothing to suggest that it isn't or to confirm that it definitely is. But the way it's edited, we'll assume that these are probably the current residents, which is, again, a bit ironic because if you'll see there, the woman that she's played by Diva Tyler, that's the actress's name, she played the graveyard caretaker in Halloween 2018 when the reporters, the journalists came and visited Judith's grave, and you saw some quick flashbacks to the Halloween 68 that Judith killed. And, or 63, excuse me, the Judith kill. In 63, you saw some quick flashbacks of Sadie Johnson. And she's in that scene, and she's saying, worked at here all these years, and the only thing anybody ever wants to talk about is Judith Myers and why. And then Aaron kind of gives her the story of why and why it's fascinating. So it's kind of ironic that she just had that conversation with these journalists, these podcasters, a few hours before on this night, and then she goes home to Judith Myers' house. Presumably, again, there's no guarantee that this is inside that house, but let's assume that it is for now, I guess. And if so, it's kind of ironic. And this is a great kind of tense scene. All of this, again, I don't even consider this spoilery at this point because we already have kind of seen where this scene is going in the previous trailer. We're just getting a little bit more of it. So, not upset about more of this. It's more. It stretches it out a little bit more and shows that what we saw is indeed just the tip of the iceberg of how brutal this is actually going to be. And we also get a really great scream coming up here that I think almost rivals Dana's scream, played by Rhian Reese, Dana's scream in the bathroom scene of 2018. Awesome shot of Michael right there. I mean, can you imagine hearing somebody and you come and you flip on the lights and there they are. Now, I said we're going to assume that this is inside his house. Now I'm thinking, might not be, because it looks like it's all bloody. This is where he goes to bandage his hand, probably. He went straight for the bathroom. It's because they come messing with him, of course, he's going to take them out. But we wondered how he gets his hand bandaged. Now I'm thinking maybe this is the first house he goes to, right after. And this is the first thing he does is go bandage his hand. Everybody was like, how's his hand get bandaged? The hand missing the fingers. But it's also bloody. We see the blood when he comes in the door. So yeah, I don't think he's not going to go to the Myers house first. He's going to cut his way through there, like Lonnie said. I think that's going to be where our finale will take place, at the Myers house, most likely. But now, even though it's edited to make you think like maybe these are the new residents, no. Now I'm thinking these are just some poor, unlucky people that live near Laurie's house. And Michael is going to go there to bandage his hand. But could you imagine hearing somebody in your house in the middle of the night, Halloween night, or any night, you go in there, you flip on the bathroom light, and you see that staring back at you in the mirror? Come on. COTN says he's just using the restroom. Yeah, he's just taking a piss. He's just taking a piss, right? Or maybe he needed some toilet paper? Could be. That's an awesome moment there. And there's where we got that great scream I was talking about. Diva Tyler as the graveyard caretaker. This scene we got a bit of in the previous trailer. Jamie Lee Curtis gets her above the title treatment. And here we got a glimpse of this scene in that new footage released 2 weeks ago as well when the Peacock announcement came. I love Jamie Lee Curtis's acting in the previous film, and I really think she's going to carry that on in a great way in this film. All right, Chad. Chad says good night. Great show as always. Got to get some sleep. Get to work early in the morning. I hear you, brother. Well, you can always catch the end of the show on replay anytime. But thank you so much for being here, Chad. I understand we are going a little bit late tonight. Almost done with this, but again, this is just a monumental Michael Myers Monday. So I want to get it all in and get all of my thoughts out and get as much feedback from you guys as possible. Have a good one, man. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Chad. There's another great shot of Michael, one that we've seen before. And then we get Laurie getting her, he's coming for me, but I'm coming for him. And then we go back to this poor couple. And again, we saw a bit of this in the previous trailer. So not a whole lot new here. What's new is that dialogue Laurie saying, he's coming for me, but I'm coming for him. And again, whether or not he's really coming for Laurie at all in this movie, I mean, I've not even seen any indication of that so far in any of this footage that he even cares about Laurie that much at this moment. Maybe that will be revealed later on in the film. Maybe he is coming for her, or maybe that's just Laurie's own psychosis saying he's coming for me, but I'm coming for him. In any case, we know she is definitely coming for him. And that is the moment of impact right there. Iconic right away. Right there. I mean, I just love that shot. I love that it's the shape. He's out of focus. He's the dark figure in the well lit room, and what you see in focus is Diva Tyler's character, the graveyard caretaker, down and bloody. The man, the husband, seemingly unconscious, laid over the table like that, and Michael just stabbing away like big Tyler Mane style, H2 opening dream sequence style stabbing right there. Byron just called this the best Michael Myers Monday ever. It's pretty damn monumental. I mean, I love that they released the trailer today on Monday. And, the first trailer was released early. It was forced to be released early because of the leak. And today kind of makes me think that maybe they were going to, had things gone as planned and it not gotten leaked, that they were going to release it that Monday. Wouldn't that have been cool? Larry says, damn, he pissed. Cotton said, he angry in this movie. That's right. Spencer says, why does Michael Myers kill everyone in the kitchen? Every Halloween movie he does this. That's a good question. I think he probably, there's a lot of things, potential weapons in a kitchen. I guess that's part of it. There's a lot of potential weapons in a kitchen. But you're right. He does do a lot of kitchen killing. But that butcher knife is such a big part of Michael. Michael and butcher knife kind of go together the way Leatherface and Chainsaw go together. So He's used a ton of weapons over the years, and he's used his bare hands plenty. Um, that might be his favorite, but his most memorable, his most identifiable, and his most iconic weapon of choice, and I'd say probably the most common, is the butcher knife. I mean, that's what we all think of when we think of Michael. You know, it's the butcher knife. With Jason, it's the machete. You know, with Leatherface, it's the chainsaw. But with Michael, you know, say name the horror killer, and you show a butcher knife, you're gonna say Michael Myers, and the butcher knife is found in the kitchen. So I guess that's the simplest answer. But you're right. A lot of killing in the kitchen. Killing in the kitchen. And here's somebody getting thrown out of a window, it appears, taking a fall into that crowd. And just a wild guess here, but where's the crowd assembling? The only place I know for sure they're going to be assembling at some point is the hospital. And, you know, we've seen a lot of disturbing looks at you know, the strode women looking out the windows at what appears to be looking at something horrific happening at the hospital. So I'm just putting two and two together, and maybe this is somebody getting thrown out of a window at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and you know, that's not going to be something real pretty or real fun to look at. The aftermath of that. Oh, I just got a real sick thought. What if Michael gets into that hospital and just starts throwing patients out the window? I literally just thought about that, guys. I mean, we've seen these looks of horror when, like, Karen and Lori are looking out at something terrible happening. What if Michael's already in the hospital when the mob's there, and he goes, you know, maybe not into the baby ward like he did in H2. I mean, that would be horrible now if he starts throwing babies out windows. But could you imagine if he just started throwing helpless patients out the window into that mob, and they just start landing and splat? Oh my god! I don't know if that's what's happening here. Somebody's getting thrown out a window, I think. All right, not too much more. Let's keep going. Yeah, somebody's falling. There's a hand. And here, Michael and Cameron. Michael finally gets his hand on Cameron, a character who was a great character because he was acted well and was very unlikable. Like, you know, so it's again kind of ironic and twisted that one of the most unlikable characters survives, but that was Lonnie Elam in the original film. So of course, Cameron Elam in the 2018 film, the annoying character that we wouldn't mind necessarily getting killed by Michael, gets away. But later on in the night, in this film, it looks like he is not going to be so lucky, so fortunate. Cotton says Karen gets thrown out a window for wearing a Christmas sweater on Halloween. That's funny. And here comes Allison with a shotgun. I love James doing the quick head turns when Michael means business. And yeah, it looks like Cameron's about to get it similar to Bob, possibly. Here is Allison meaning business. it's interesting because we've read in some of the recent interviews that Allison is really going to be kind of in the total film cover story, it was stated that Allison is kind of the one of the leaders, almost, if you will, of the vigilante mob. That's kind of how she's dealing with the events. Granted, it's only been an hour or so after the house fire by this time, probably in the night. It can't be but so much longer later. But it's pretty interesting that she goes from just get over it, grandma, to now she's like, all right, we're gonna hunt him and leading the charge. Pretty wild transformation. And she's gonna get her chance to get into it with the boogeyman. And again, we saw bits and pieces of this in the first trailer. We get a little more of it here. And she gets thrown down the stairs. And look, that just hurts me to look at it. That is not that that does not look bending right. There's a knife though. She can get a hold of that knife. Larry has a feeling that maybe the operating room massacre from H6 will be recreated. That's interesting, Larry. I could kind of see that. I just think it'd be a wild concept that we haven't seen before if Michael Myers just starts throwing helpless patients. I mean, you want to talk about pure evil. Helpless patients or slaughtering an operating room while doctors are I mean, we're talking about pure evil, but we know we're going to see him slaughter a bunch of firefighters who are literally trying to save his life. I mean, if that ain't pure evil. So, yeah, if he starts chucking babies out a window or massacring people while they're in the middle of an operation or doctors trying to perform a life-saving operation, yeah, that's definitely some pure evil and some levels of pure evil that a lot of mainstream horror films and slashers do not reach. Ken says, just like Lori thrown down the same stairs. That's right. Byron hopes that Allison is up there with the greats like Jamie Lloyd and Rachel from H4 and 5. Plus, Amy Matichak is a great actress. Yeah, we'll see if Allison can attain a level of popularity up there with Jamie Lloyd and Rachel. I mean, that's some big shoes to fill, but I think she was great in the first movie. I think this movie's going to be much more her. I mean, that last movie was clearly that was Laurie's movie, and rightfully so, and it was great as that. This one's going to be much more about Allison, Karen, and the other residents of Haddonfield, specifically the survivors of the first massacre. Allison in pain, another great scream right there. There's an awesome shot. Now we saw this in an early teaser when some very early footage was put out. I believe it might have been when they announced the delay actually last year, the release date delay. But we did see a glimpse of this scene already, and but that is a great shot of Michael. Great shot of the mask, great lighting. I've heard people saying that the cinematography in this film is very much like Dean Cundy's work in the '78 film. this does look like a Dean Cundy moment in a lot of ways. Very dark, but still lit just right so you can make out everything that you're supposed to be able to make out. The details of the mask, of the coveralls, the damage on the coveralls, the damage on the mask. Still keeping those eyes as black as can be. And of course, I love that Michael's got the collar back up the whole time, as it should be. In every one of these shots, that collar is up. Straight out of 78. And of course, we got the theme blasting at this moment. And there's Karen again. She says, "You want to kill someone, take me." And then it looks like she's running away with the mask, with Michael coming from behind her. And now this is back at the Myers house. So again, I do think the trailer is probably cutting away to jump around and not let us know exactly when things are happening or who's where. But yeah, this confrontation clearly happening at the Myers house. Whether or not that's going to be where he meets Cameron and Allison, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that is. A lot of you guys in that very early look at Michael, and then later we got some footage released. We're speculating that was Allison and Michael, both shots of them inside the Myers house. You felt that was Michael at the top of the stairs inside the Myers house. Still don't know for sure, but this is definitely leading me to think that might be correct. And Karen, yeah, I mean, what are you doing? What are you thinking here? What are you thinking? Yeah. Yeah, he's always in darkness, Ken said. That's right. Jamel says he looks so soulless. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he really does. Byron says, Michael better not speak in this film or in Halloween Ends. I'd be pretty shocked if he spoke. I mean, I think they will shock us in some ways, but I don't see him speaking. I could be wrong, though. We'll see. I mean, again, when it comes to this franchise, I will never say never. Because, never say never when it comes to this franchise. But, that'd be pretty shocking if he spoke. And, I mean, what would he say? I don't, I mean, in the end of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 director's cut, he does speak. He speaks one word. He says die. And yeah, a lot of people hated that. But honestly, if Michael's going to speak, there's really only one word that he should say. And that's it. But no, I don't see them recreating that in this. But anything's possible. All right, we're almost over with the trailer here. Here we go. It looks like back at the hospital. We've seen bits of this before. The concerned, strode women. Lori clearly has Michael in her sights and feels like she can be the one to call him. Very much like Loomis. Like, feels this connection to him. She is our new Loomis. We know this. And, reacting very much the way he does. The one to call him and to try to say, look, don't look at them. Look at me. Pay attention to me. I'm the one that knows you, and I'm the one that you really want. Just a quick moment of some classic Michael Myers just doing his walk in the darkness on Halloween night in Haddonfield. Simple, but it's straight up Michael Myers doing his thing. And again, I mean, we're pretty much seeing the mask in full now throughout this trailer. I mean, all these different looks of it. We've seen it like never before now. We've gotten some really good looks at it in these magazines and in some of these official stills and in the previous trailer, but we're really getting it from all angles. And I gotta say, I'm loving it more than ever. I mean, it really, I like the damage. It's not quite like Rob Zombie Halloween 2 damage where half of his face is hanging out. But the damage look is really kind of haunting and really just adds a level of meanness to the mask, I think, which is very fitting for this film, if you ask me. I feel like he is pissed, much like he was in the original H2, and I don't know that it's directed specifically at anybody, but I think he definitely wants to get his revenge on the Strode women. They did outsmart him. They did. He's a trickster, but Lori tricked him. She did a damn good job. She beat him at his game, which was tricking people and messing with their heads and getting them to a thing to where, and she did that. So that's got to burn him up a little bit. No pun intended. Larry says Judith, I guess, as the one word he might say. Like Sartain suggested that, did he say the sister's name Judith? Interesting. I mean, that would be a good word if it's not die. Yes, if he's only going to say one word, Judith would be a good one. Yep, that would be good. I mean, because you can't say something like Happy Halloween or, I mean, it's. But yeah, maybe saying the word Judith might, that's a good word. If I had to pick one word for him to speak other than die, I mean, I think if you're gonna have him speak, I mean, you shouldn't have him speak. I agree, you shouldn't. But yeah, maybe Judith. Sammy wonders if they'll show James Jude Courtney's burned face when the mask comes off, burned face and white eye. I don't know. We know they're going to try to take that mask off. How far they'll get, exactly what we'll see. I mean, you do see a lot of James Jude Courtney in the 2018 film. It's just edited and cut so well that but you can go freeze frame it and see his face, just like you can Nick in the original in some scenes. But so I don't know. I haven't thought too much about if he'll actually get unmasked. Uh, if I do, I'm sure it will be a quick flash of the Tony Moran unmasking scene in '78, and his reaction will probably be very similar. He'll be slightly flustered for a minute when he's unmasked, because I do think he feels naked without the mask. I think he feels somewhat powerless without the mask. I think without the mask, he does become kind of dormant. So I think if it were to come off, it would be a few quick seconds like that, similar to the Tony Moran scene where he's a bit flustered, a bit off his game, and he'd probably get it back really quick. And maybe they give us some cool reveal of a burned face right as he's putting it on. I mean, I don't think they're going to linger on an unmasked face. I don't think they'll do that. I think it would be like a Tony Moran thing. It'd be quick, if so. Like that quick moment would be something we'd all go back and freeze frame a million times for the next 4 years. Ken says Michael is going to say the words Christmas sweater question mark. That's a good one. Christmas sweater? In the parody, he should definitely say that. Dave says that's when the person fell. Oh, well, you mean that's what they were looking at a minute ago? The reactions of Lori and Karen. Yeah, I believe that. I think that's when the person fell too. Yep. Byron says, just show the back of his head. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think they're going to do anything crazy, like have Michael start talking or spend significant amounts of time unmasked. You know, I mean, again, Rob Zombie had Tyler Mane unmasked for the first half of the movie, really, and he's just walking around bearded and unmasked. And no, we're not. I don't think we're going to get that. Never say never, but I don't think we're going to get that. No, I think if it were to happen in this movie or the next movie, it'd be very similar to the Tony Moran thing. A quick thing where you get a little glimpse of the damage, like you got a little glimpse of the damage on Tony Moran, from the hangar, and it'd be a similar reaction. Of course, right after that is when Loomis comes and shoots him 6 times. So, whether that would happen right at that moment, I don't know. But my gut reaction tells me he's not going to spend any significant time without the mask. And the question was, are we going to see James Jude Courtney? Yeah, if we're going to see him, it's going to be no more than we saw James Jude Courtney's face in 2018, I think. He did tell me in our interview, if you'll remember, James did say that he spends a little more time without the mask in this film. Now, you can make of that what you want. Make of that what you want. He did say those words to me on the record in that interview, though. So, make of that what you want. But I still say, whatever that may be, I don't think we're going, as viewers, going to see much more of Michael's face than we've historically seen. Not including Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because we saw a whole lot of his face in that one. But about how much we've seen in previous films. Byron says, do I think Allison reminds Michael Myers of his sister Judith? Maybe. That could be. There's Karen going after somebody with the knife. I mean, she's going down with that stabbing motion. Is Michael down there? And then we get this shot here. And I actually posted this still on Instagram today because this was something that I didn't see coming. I mean, we've all, we know Flashback and we know legacy characters, but I didn't see this coming. This is, of course, young Michael Myers. Now, that's not Will Sandin, who I actually just talked to a few weeks ago at Mad Monster. That's, I don't know who this young man is playing our new young Michael Myers. This is somebody else that we're going to have to meet and learn more about. I'm sorry, guys. I got to switch my camera battery out real quick. Give me just 30 seconds, and I'm going to mute this, and you guys talk amongst yourselves about this image of young Michael. This blew me away, though. This was one of the moments that really, gave me chills when it just popped up there for a second. I mean, so is this suggesting that not only are we going back to 78, but we're going back to 63 too? I mean, it's pretty amazing shot here. And yeah, I mean, is this Michael having a flashback in his brain? Is this what is going on here even? And then there's always the possibility that this is a modern kid wearing that same outfit, but I don't think that's going to be what it is. I mean, this is Michael's classic outfit from 63. But no matter what's going on here, it just immediately sent chills up my spine. Crazy to see this right here near the end of the trailer. All right, I got to switch my camera battery out. you guys talk more about this image. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. And Roman Duty has showed up. He says, can't wait for this movie. Huge Halloween fan of the Halloween movies. Well, you were in the right place, sir. Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. David Suber says it shows Michael came home and is asking maybe this is CGI. I don't know. I would guess it's probably they just recreated it with another actor. And then David, I love this. You say that it shows that he came home. Absolutely. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier about how Michael this is still Michael on the inside. This is Michael. And um I've always felt that Michael Myers ended the night he killed Judith. The shape began then, and he's pretty much been the shape ever since. And it, you know, the shape is that 6-year-old brain still that is playing hide and seek, as Salem's character says. That is, tricking people as much as he's treating himself. Uh, this is Michael Myers. If Michael Myers were to look in a mirror, I almost feel like this is what he would see. So yes, Dave, when you're saying this image shows that Michael came home, absolutely, I agree 100%. Again, this is the night he came home again. He came home in 78. He killed in 63 and became the shape. He came home 15 years later in 78, and then he came home again in 2018. And this is more of that night, and this is when he actually gets to home. And yeah, I don't know. This scene may only just pop up in the movie literally as fast as it pops up in this trailer, like for just a second. Like maybe Michael stands there, and for a split second, we see this image, and I'm fine with that. So because I just love the iconography of this, bringing it back home, quite literally, to the Myers house, to the Judith kill, to young Myers, young clown Myers. I mean, come on, there's so much for us fans in this film, and so much is packed into this trailer. It's just unbelievable. Sammy says, yeah, he came home. Love that. Also keeps that Loomis connection. Yep. Yep. We're going to talk about that in just a second because there's another amazing shot here coming up in just a second. Get ready. Are you ready for the most crazy shot in this trailer? Because I thought this was it first time I watched it until it got to the end. All right, so let's go a little bit further. Up, there it is. But before we get there, let's go back just a second. Here's Laurie back at the hospital looking all concerned. And look at this. Look at this, dudes. Here we go. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of shocked that they showed this scene in the trailer. But again, it's part of the official marketing. It's not dampened my excitement at all. Seeing it has only made me more excited. And again, there's been rumors and theories that, oh, they're going to have Loomis in the flashback and it's going to be a lookalike actor and whatever. Young Michael in the flashback and all this stuff. Well, here we go. Here we go, guys. Clearly, we're back in 1978. That mask does not have the burn damage. Right over there on the right, you see the Strode Realty sign. We got Haddonfield's finest, guns drawn in the foreground, and they're all wearing, the same uniforms. Well, the uniforms haven't changed too much in 40 years, I guess, but same uniforms we remember from 78. And right behind the shape is his doctor, Dr. Loomis. This is an amazing moment. I mean, they're going to take us back to 78 and literally show us what happened 5 minutes after the movie ended. Now, there's going to be a lot of opinions about this. There's going to be plenty of people that say that ruins the ending of the movie. Well, to that I just say nothing can ruin the ending of another. Like, no movie can ruin anything about another movie. That John Carpenter's movie is what it is, and it ends the way it does, and it's perfect. With that ending is perfect. Whatever they do from there, whether they, pick up 5 minutes later and H2 happens, or they pick up 5 minutes later and this story happens, none of that affects the perfect ending of 78, in my opinion. None of it. 78 still has a perfect ending, always will. And if you want the absolutely most perfect Michael Myers story you could ever have, honestly, you should probably just stop after 78. That's the perfect Michael Myers story, just that one film. But if you watch that one film and you're hungry for more, knowing that it might not be as good necessarily, but it's still going to be pretty damn fun seeing more of this killer in this universe, well then, now you've got so many sequels that you can choose your own adventure for. And, so, but again, this is a huge moment. Huge moment confirmed. Loomis, Haddonfield, Myers' house, and what's going to happen here? This is when he's apprehended, I imagine, right? I mean, we can only speculate. They're going to fire away, and then he falls into a cave like end of H4. Yeah, no. I guess he's just going to go silently. What makes him allow them to take him at this point? I'm just curious, because I mean he's not in that. Ain't nobody taking him easily in 2018. Maybe he's just young and tired. But this is a pretty epic moment. I think you guys would agree. Ken, I hear you talking about how everybody bashes Rob's movies because they were so brutal and so much more brutal than the less is more approach of the original, and now this one is going to be possibly as brutal, maybe even more brutal. Are we going to be more brutal than Rob Zombie's H2? I don't know, but I do hear you, Ken, that there's a bit of, I don't know about from John himself, but I know certainly from some fans, there's maybe a little bit of double standard there. Personally, I love it. I love what they did in 2018. I thought it was brutal, but still very suspenseful and very less is more. I think this one's going to be much more like H2, the original H2 in that respect. That it'll still have that same vibe, but we're going to see a lot more of the kills. There's going to be a lot more of them in that respect. Brett has an interesting point. He says the way Myers is standing there at gunpoint looks spot on the way Nick Castle looks in 78 with his arms out forward like that. Very interesting. Well, that is, whoever's behind the mask at that point is doing a great job doing a good Nick Castle, if that's not Nick making a cameo right there himself. David says that shot of young Michael could be young Michael waiting for the cops to come after he killed Judith. Ken says, not mad at the movie, just trying to get others' opinion. Oh, I hear you, man. I totally hear you. Anthony says, interesting. David Suber says, well, H2 started out with Michael walking through the neighborhood, so this is not much different. Yeah, I mean, he's going to go through the neighborhood, and, he's going to get to the hospital at a certain point. We know this. D Riots, what's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. They say, I agree. I feel that like he wouldn't go down without a fight. I mean, we'll see. Maybe he does go down without a fight. Excuse me. Maybe he does go down with a fight and doesn't go down without a fight. I don't know. Or maybe he just. It's kind of weird to think that he's just gonna go silently. I mean, but I gotta think there's something we don't know yet. We're gonna see how this plays out. Anthony says, I miss Loomis. Yeah, we all do. But I do like that Laurie is kind of the new Loomis. She does get kind of a lot of the best lines, at least the lines about, Michael's darkness, his evil. And it looks like in this film, a lot, she's going to have a lot of that. Because there was always Loomis talking about, that Michael was more than a man, something other than a man, not a man. He wasn't a he was a thing. He was a it. He was a force. He was a primal evil. And Loomis got this. And even at a young age, Tommy and I think Lindsay got this. Laurie didn't get it in the beginning of 78. At the end of 78, Laurie got it. She got it. And now she and adult Tommy and Lindsay are kind of the ones that get it. And I think we're going to see that maybe Lonnie gets it too, because he had his own encounter that we didn't see in that film, but we're probably going to see in this film, I imagine. Dave says, yes, you see the red cop lights on young Michael. That could be. So you think the parents came home, called the cops, and then that's them coming to get him. And that could be an interesting thing, that moment gets undercut with this moment. And maybe he goes, or here's an idea, dudes. I just thought of this. And this is literally just my brain expanding. I know it's like 1 a.m. and y'all got to go to work tomorrow and everything. I'm tired too. But I just thought of this. What if, like, as he's walking out about to slaughter all the firefighters, that's when he flashes back to this moment when he considered slaughtering all these cops, but decided, I'm tired. And then at the same time, he flashes back even further to 63, where he probably as a kid thought about even then, about slaughtering all those cops. And he said, I'm tired. I don't know. Could be. Dave says the house is where the rage is. It's where his first kill with Judith was. It's where the rage started. And that's just about the end of the trailer, I believe. But what an epic scene right here. Let's see. We got just a little bit more at the end. It kind of pans out real quick. Let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 officers, all guns drawn. Yep, Patrick mentioned a young Hawkins, and we do know from the previous film that Hawkins was there on that night. So we can assume pretty safely. Actually, there's at least 10 officers. I just noticed there's another hand holding a gun over just off screen to the right. So one of these guys is Hawkins 40 years prior. That's a good point, because he did tell that story in 2018, the 2018 film. So one of them is a young Officer Hawkins. And here we go back to Michael's encounter with Lindsay, I believe that was, it looked like. Here's Laurie. Lots of knives shown in this trailer. Hard to tell which ones are which and how many different butcher knives are in play here. I mean, there's a lot of knife play. Michael's got the knife on the playground, and then there's the knife at the couple's house, the graveyard taker house, and then there's the knife that Karen picks up, which maybe is this knife that she brought back to Laurie at the hospital, maybe, or it's hard for me to keep track of all the knife play here, but there's a lot of knives and a lot of blood on these knives. Honestly, I'm pretty kind of shocked at how much blood is shown in this trailer, because I mean they didn't have a red band warning at the beginning of this trailer. I'm actually, what we're watching here is the upload from John Carpenter's YouTube channel, actually, not from Universal's YouTube channel or from Blumhouse's. They all uploaded it today, of course, but Carpenter himself uploaded it on his own channel as well, and so that's the one we're checking out here. And that one, at least, didn't have the red band, and I don't remember seeing one on the Universal upload earlier today, so it's oddly not a red band trailer, not for restricted audiences only, but for so much blood, I would think it would be. Ken says, calm like a bomb, the Battle of Haddonfield. You've been listening to a lot of Rage today. I can tell. Rage Against the Machine rules, man. D. Riot says, that's one thing that confused me on the NECA toy. It looks like he uses the knife from 78. It's interesting. Yeah, he comes with 2 knives. I did see that he comes with 2 knives. And this, of course, is Laurie saying the line that we heard quoted out of CinemaCon, but she says, I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes. And then we go quickly to this shot. Now, we had seen that line, heard that line in the Peacock announcement footage, I'll call it. And then we had seen this little bit here of somebody trying to get his mask off after Laurie says that. And we all talked that night about who it might be trying to pull the mask off. A lot of speculation. The way the footage is edited, it makes you think, well, that's Laurie trying to take it off to see the life leave his eyes. Then there's, there's like some blue or purple fingernail paint, and that led some of you guys to say, well, it must be Allison. And looking at the rings and stuff, it's Allison trying to do it. And some said it's Karen trying to get it off, because we definitely know that Karen is holding the mask at some point in the movie. All of those are possibilities, but I did really only see, I think, one person the other week when we looked at that footage, and I'm sorry I'm forgetting your name now. I'll have to go back and see who made the comment on that video, but I think in this instance anyway, the person trying to rip it off, and again, this is just me guessing, but going all over it all, I think it's Lindsay. I think it's Kyle Richards trying to rip it off. And somebody else did suggest that in the comments of our previous breakdown of the most recently released footage prior to today. Dave agrees it's Lindsay. Yeah, I think it's actually Lindsay. And like I said, one of you, somebody, said that in a comment recently, because everybody else was pretty sure it was either Allison or Laurie or Karen, all of which are possibilities still and make sense. But I'm trying to find that comment. Yeah, I don't see where that comment went. Anyway, somebody else had suggested that on a previous comment, I know, and I was just going to give them a shout out. I'll try to do that on another show. But yeah, I think it's Lindsay. Byron says he bets it's Lindsay. D. Riot says it's for sure it's Lindsay. Yep. Ken says, just like in 78, rip off his mask again. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going back to that idea of 78, of Laurie just trying to get the mask off, and she does for a minute, for a few seconds, and of course that's the Tony Moran scene where he's unmasked Michael, and yeah, he's going to be, I think we're going to get something similar to that. I don't know if it'll happen here with Lindsay necessarily or not, but yeah, Dave says probably when Michael slams her against the SUV. I'm kind of thinking that too. That's when they come into contact with each other. And Larry says they brave whoever they are. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a good idea. You think if you could even just wrinkle the mask like she's doing, blind them a little bit, maybe. I mean, we know it's not going to make any big difference. We know he's gonna. It's Michael. He ain't stopping, but it will slow him down a little bit, I think. As we've seen, he's typically, always got that mask, but yeah, when it was removed by force in 78, it did fluster him for a second until he got it back on. I mean, that's just a wild looking shot right there. But yeah, I really think that's Kyle Richards, Lindsay trying to rip it off. Could be wrong, but we'll see. And there's our title treatment. Halloween kills and kills and kills and kills and kills and kills. I tweeted out a thing a while ago. Of course, it's in theaters and streaming on Peacock October 15th now. I love that they never changed the date and all the shuffling and all the Venom's gonna crush us. They stuck strong on their date, and yes, they added the Peacock thing, but I spoke about that at length last week. I'm not gonna get into it, but I think it's a good move. I think it's smart. Um, Although it would have been smarter for them to let Peacock, do the same orange on the Peacock logo here. That would have really made it cool. Come on, Peacock. Uh, but I spoke a little bit about the fact that this is a slasher movie. This is the 12th film in a 43-year-old horror franchise. And, they've got the word kills in the title of their film. Now, everybody knows it's going to have killing in it. Everybody's going there to see killing, and they're putting kill. I just think this is an incredibly bold and frankly a ballsy move for everybody involved to call your film Halloween Kills. And I think that alone gets me even more excited because the fact that David Gordon Green, Jason Blum, everybody involved felt like, yeah, this is the only true fitting title for this film. I mean, that's insane. I mean, what other film has done that? Has said just kills, just kills, just kills. It kills. I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty bold and ballsy. And there we see all the closing logos. And it says there in the fine print, available on Peacock for 60 days from theatrical release. And if you remember, that was part of that Peacock announcement that's how it was going to go. And then I think it'll go to other more traditional streamers after that. And then eventually it'll end back up on Peacock. That'll kind of be its streaming home, ultimately. But they are going to send it to other streamers at some point, it sounds like. And that is the Halloween Kills official trailer 2, final trailer, they're calling it. And we talked about this a lot, that it was coming, and we knew it was coming. We didn't know what day it was coming. I was saying any day now for like the last 2 weeks, ever since it premiered at CinemaCon. I said I think they're going to drop it any day now, right after the world premiere. I expected it kind of then, and instead we got some of it. We got that new footage with the Peacock announcement. So a lot of people assumed, well, they're going to save that trailer for Blumfest. Well, that's only 2 weeks before the film, so they wouldn't get too much mileage out of it waiting that long. And I speculated for the last couple of weeks that it's going to drop any day now, and we probably get something else during Blumfest. So that's definitely where we're at now. That's what I think is next, is we can look forward to a first official clip from the film on October 1st when Blumfest happens. That'll be an online event. It's on Friday, October 1st. And because that is on a Friday, that works out great because that's when we do the Halloween show. So that'll be not this Friday, but next Friday. And we're going to go live for that after Blumfest. And we're going to do a live episode on Friday, October 1st of the Halloween show. And we're going to talk about whatever news comes out of Blumfest regarding Halloween Kills and whatever else is happening that week that we cover at HalloweenDailyNews.com. So that'll be fun. And we'll most likely have a live episode this Friday as well. But again, I just got back into town. I don't know which way is up or down right now, to be honest with you. I'm still kind of in a daze. I just got home, and then it was like, get ready for this live. And I didn't even rewatch the trailer before getting on here with you guys. So this was like, my 5th time watching it probably total. was with you guys. So I saw a lot of things I didn't see the first few times, and I appreciate you guys going through it with me. That's kind of, one of the funnest things is we kind of get to experience it as fans together, and I get to kind of take off my journalist's hat a little bit and set it over here and just be a fanboy and geek out with you guys about this stuff that we love so much. So we've been on here really long tonight. We're approaching 3 hours, so if you made it this long, congratulations. You did it. You made it to the end. It is now Tuesday, Terrifier Tuesday. But this has been a monumental Michael Myers Monday. Brand new trailer, killer footage, so many treats packed in there for franchise fans, for hardcore franchise fans. And needless to say, I'm already sold on this movie, but I am more excited than ever after seeing that. It gave me chills. It gave me chills a few times tonight, just rewatching it again. And yeah, I know I threw a few crazy ideas and theories out there. Most of it's probably, not going to turn out to be reality, but it's going to be fun to see either way. Except for the Silver Shamrock song. That's going to happen, right, guys? It's got to happen. It's got to, right? All right, guys. David says we escaped Michael Myers. We escaped Michael Myers Monday for now. So this has been great, guys. I apologize if I didn't get to all of your comments. I know there was a lot, and I do apologize for missing some, but I do appreciate all of you being here and playing along with me and going through this trailer and picking it apart. And yeah, we are now closing in. We're just weeks away from this film. So we're going to be announcing some special events the week of, and lots of cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks that you're not going to want to miss. A lot of cool exclusive content coming here to the HDN channel about this movie. We're going to be talking to some cool people involved in the movie. It's going to be really fun, and it's all going to be stuff that you guys are going to love because I'm putting it all together thinking about you guys and what you want to see. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I think if you're watching after 3 hours, hopefully you have. But do that, first of all, and turn on that notification bell so that you're notified every time we do something, especially the lives, because that's what you want to be here. That's kind of the breaking news thing, even if it's not on Monday night. And we've just got a ton of content coming. Like I said, we just got back from Haunted Screams Expo. We got tons of content coming from that. We still haven't even begun our coverage from Mad Monster Expo 2 weeks ago. That's going to start this week. You're going to see video and photo galleries from that event. Then you're going to see all of our video and photo galleries from Haunted Screams, including a very cool Halloween 07 panel with Tyler Maines, Scout Taylor Compton, and Lou Temple, all of which gave some really cool and fun stories and a few things that I hadn't really heard discussed before about that film. So for you fans of that timeline and that choose your own adventure of Michael Myers, you're going to want to check that out here soon. All right, guys, that is my show for this week. Again, sorry for not getting to the hashtag shoutouts this week or any of the other things that I normally do. We'll get back to that next week, probably. But as you can see, I figured the trailer was going to take up the whole night. And it was well worth it, though, because there was a lot packed in there. And a lot that I just needed to talk about out loud to somebody that gets it and appreciates it like I do. And that's you guys. So, once again, I can't thank you all enough for being here. As always, you made it awesome. I wouldn't be doing this if nobody was watching. So the fact that you guys come out and watch each week is great. And to any new people watching, thank you for being here. Hopefully you'll come back and subscribe. I'd love if you would. And as always, you can keep up to date on all things Michael Myers, Halloween Kills, and everything else about Halloween outside of this franchise all the time, every day at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Another big thanks to Salem Collins. She was awesome for joining us here earlier tonight. That was a real treat. She told us some fun little facts about filming her scene that we got a glimpse of in the trailer. And again, she's somebody that we're all going to be talking a lot more about here in the near future as this film gets closer. So, guys, if you're watching this after the fact, or after you watch the trailer again and you got some comments you didn't make tonight, it's all good. Drop the comments down below. You can do that anytime. You can come back here tomorrow and say, hey, I forgot to say this. Drop them down below. I'll get to them next week. We'll go over more of this and any new updates to the franchise. And like I said, look for another live for the Halloween show. This Friday's episode of the Halloween show. And October 1st, we're going live after Blumfest that evening. That's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going to be announcing some really cool Halloween Kills stuff coming up soon that we want you all to be a part of. So make sure you subscribe and look for us on all the socials, because we're not just here on YouTube. We're on IG and Twitter, and Facebook. We even got TikTok and Snapchat too, even though we don't do as much on those. But we're there, kids. We're there. We're on all of them. So you can find us there. And you can always find the most up-to-date stuff always first on HalloweenDailyNews.com. All right. This has been great, guys. All of you guys are awesome. Thank you for being here. This has been a lot of fun. We're counting down the days, guys. It's not much longer now. I think we are primed and ready. It's going to be awesome. Once again, happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Keep it killer, guys. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.